Okay, good afternoon. Today is July the 9th, 2020, Thursday. And I'm here to do the lesson for our youth department. And I was trying to figure out what to teach today. And seemingly we're looking for reasons to neglect what God has told us to do. So I thought we'd talk about stewardship. Stewardship. So we're going to start off by me trying to tell you what a steward is. Okay, a steward is a keeper. He is not the owner. He handles that which rightfully belongs to another person. He has to feel accountable for the protection and the wise use of the things that's entrusted to him. And if you don't feel accountable, you will neglect that duty. And remember, the word steward is a noun. It's a person employed to manage an estate or something else. And when we talk about stewardship, that's a verb. It means the duties and the obligations of a steward. And if we separate that word stewardship, steward is the noun, the person, and when you add the ship to it, that's a suffix, and that denotes a condition, the character, or the office, or the skill of. So when we say stewardship, the skill of being a steward. This stewardship started in Genesis 2:15, when the Lord said, "And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it." That's where stewardship started. You're obligated to keep his garden. Now let's go and talk about steward or stewardship. As Christians, we do not own anything. We are users and keepers of God's possessions. Someday, each person will be rewarded for his faithfulness or called to give a reason for his negligence. If we don't own anything, then who owns it? And as my pastor said, I'm glad you asked me, I'm going to tell you, if we don't own it, who do? Psalms 24:1 says, "The earth belongs to God." It says, "The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein." Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." Christians belong to God. 1 Corinthians 6 verses 19 through 20 says, "Know ye not, ye are not your own. Ye are bought with a price."
Yes.
Not only did he make us, he also paid a price on Calvary with his own blood for us.
Yes.
You must give an account of your faithfulness. God is keeping a record. Number one, record of what? We owe love to man. Number two, we owe obedience to parents. Number three, we owe worship to God.
Yes.
And we have to use our hands to serve, our feet to go places, our lips to speak, and your mind is to think great thoughts about God. We have to be good overseers of what God have left in our hands. We owe God 1/10, and we call that tithe. Time, talent, treasures. When you give according to God's plan, it saves us from becoming greedy and covetous. It builds a spirit of concern and generosity for others. Happiness awaits you as a Christian when you are faithful in giving and preserving God's world. God's plan for giving and taking care of His creation is wise, it is sound, and it's workable. For God said, I will not put no more on you than you can bear. So be a good steward. Handle what God gives you with special care. Do not neglect God. Do not neglect God's people. And do not neglect God's earth. Remember, you owe love to man. You owe obedience to your parents. You owe worship to God. You know men and parents are God's creation too. So be a good steward over God's creation, the world, and all that's in it. Thank you.